What's up everybody, Dapper Jeff here, and Halloween is right around the corner. And so today, on Well Fed, I'm not doing one game, I'm doing 5. I'm actually going to be creating some fantastic Halloween Rice Krispy Treats while counting down 5 of the most influential horror games that have ever been made. So come with me into my fantastic kitchen, and let's get started. Okay guys, so like many of our ingredients so far, this one is super simple, easy to make, anyone can do it at home. In fact, many of you already have. But today, you need 6 cups of your Rice Krispie cereal, or any rice puffed cereal will work. If you want Cocoa Pebbles, do it. You want Fruity Pebbles for colorful festive? Do it. We have 4 cups of mini marshmallows. I like mini marshmallows because they're like little tiny ghosts. And you know, tiny ghosts. In addition, because I'm doing something extra special, I have 2 cups of milk chocolate chips, which I'm going to be using later on, and you guys are going to be all like, what? I also have 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 separate colors of gel-based cake decorating, icing, frosting-y stuff, which I'm going to use later on in my fantastic 5-game countdown. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get some fire under our saucepan. I'm gonna do a high heat and just let it sit for a minute to get warmed up. We got our preheated saucepan. We're gonna take our 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna drop that right in. Drop it right in like so. Ow. Was I in that shot? All right, so I'm gonna use my spoonification to kind of evenly coat the base of this pan with the butter, as you can see here. That way, when I add in the marshmallows next, they won't stick to the base. I'm also going to try to get up on these walls. Next up, we take our 4 cups of mini marshmallows, put them right in there. And we're just going to let this heat and simmer until the marshmallows melt. Then they'll be marshmallows. That was my bad joke. Thank you to anyone and everyone out there who laughed. And for those of you who didn't laugh, well, I'm sorry that you have no sense of humor. So you can see that the marshmallows are already starting to melt, and this is awesome. This is great. I'm gonna turn down the heat just a touch so we don't overcook. But yeah, another reason I went with mini marshmallows over the regular ones is they're smaller. They'll melt faster. All right, so when our marshmallows are nice and melty like this, you know, it's kind of like ghost slime for Halloween. Look at that slimy, gooey awesomeness. We take our 6 cups of puffed rice cereal. I'm using Rice Krispies because why not? Go right into that delicious mixture, and I just mix it. You're gonna mix it all up until, well, you know what Rice Krispy Treats look like. I shouldn't have to tell you. And if you do need to be told what a Rice Krispy Treat looks like, then I kind of feel bad for you and question what kind of sad, depressing childhood you had. That having been said, look at how quick that happened. That is awesome. So they're nice, they're gooey, they're sticky. I'm gonna kill the heat on this. We're gonna move on to the next step. All right, guys, now that our Rice Krispies have been mixed in with the marshmallow to that sticky, gooey awesomeness, we need to get our Pyrex baking dish ready. You might recognize this dish from when I did my flan, Mega Flan. It was flantastic. You're gonna want some non-stick cooking spray like Pam, or in my case, I'm using a canola oil cooking spray. I'm gonna just spray down the interior. I'm probably overspraying it, but I just don't want a big sticky mess later. Now that that's been done, I'm gonna take my still deliciously hot and gooey Rice Krispies, and I'm just gonna moosh it right into this here Pyrex. That's right, you get mooshed. You get mooshed good. You know, don't feel bad if some of the Rice Krispies sticks to the inside of the pot or the pan that you were using. That's fine. That's totally okay, because it's the nature of the beast. I'm gonna try to spread this out as evenly as I can now. Probably should have coated this spoon in, like, the cooking spray, too. See, that would have been a good idea. Pro tip. Give the spoon you're using a little spray of the oil, too. That way, your Krispies don't stick. So now comes the hardest part of this. We let it wait. We have to let this cool off until it's solid and firm and awesome. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I've got my 2 cups of Hershey's milk chocolate, because I like milk chocolate. Has that nice little sweetness. Dark chocolate works too, whatever you guys want to use. 2 cups in a microwave-safe container. I'm gonna set the microwave power down to 5. Goes up to 10, so it's cooking about half heat, medium power, for 1.5 minutes. So that'll be 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm gonna open the microwave now, because I gotta put it in. Never run an empty microwave. And start. And I'm just gonna sit here until this is done. It takes 1.5 minutes. It's easy. All right, so we got about 10 seconds left, and at this point, you're gonna want a spoon. Because with a spoon, you're gonna stir up these melted chocolate chips. 2, 1, done. All right, so these did not melt as quickly as I had hoped. They're still solid. So what I'm gonna do is put them back in the microwave at full power for 30 seconds. All right, so it's starting to get there. Oh, actually, there we go. Look at that. I'm just gonna stir this up so the unmelted chips can use the heat from the melted ones, the residual heat, and that in turn will melt them. All right, so here I'm still stirring up this chocolate, just making sure it's velvety smooth. Look at that, that is delicious. Stir just a little more. And now for the funnest part. I take my chocolate and I'm gonna pour it over my Krispies. And hopefully, Krispies still have a little bit of cooling left to do, and that'll help keep the chocolate delicious and gooey. And I know a lot of you are there like, Dapper Jeff, what are you doing? You're making chocolate on the Krispies and it's just blowing my mind right now. And my friends, I appreciate that, because your minds will be blown by the end of this. Because soon, I'll do that countdown of influential horror games. And when that happens, y'all are gonna learn some stuff. Because Dapper Jeff doesn't just like to cook and play video games, he likes to inform people too. I'm gonna use a spatula here to help kind of even out, smooth out the chocolate. Just because I do want that nice kind of even coat just over the top. Because that's gonna give me my canvas for the next step, which is when I get to use these awesome gel icing decorations. All right, guys, so that's how you make some fantastic horror Rice Krispy Treats. Now, each one of these treats has a different symbol done up in like the icing for good reason. This one here in the corner is the butterfly from Until Dawn. Until Dawn was an awesome, arguably revolutionary game that played out a lot like a horror movie. I mean, it was a horror movie that you controlled, you made decisions, and the relevance of the butterfly, or the butterfly effect in game, is that your decisions came with consequences. You know, there's a great scene where you're wandering through a psych ward, an old mental asylum, and this wolf just jumps out at you after you open a door. And you have an option, you can fight off the wolf, or don't. And if you don't, it becomes your buddy and even saves you should you fail a QuickTime event. Right next to that, right here, is the top hat from Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's was an awesome game that, awesome franchise if we're being honest, that proceeds to up the ante with each game, slightly changing up its formula and rules, but it also kind of instills that feeling of terror and dread, you know, that you know something's coming. Next to that, and admittedly poorly done because my artistic skills are, well, not that great, is the Castlevania Cross. Castlevania, another wonderful franchise, first kind of showed that, you know, just because we have an action platform game doesn't mean we can't throw some horror in, attract more fans, and make it amazing. Beneath Castlevania and right by my right thumb is a symbol from Silent Hill. First brought in Silent Hill 3. It became the save symbol, if I understand correctly. I've never played Silent Hill, so I have no background on that one. Silent Hill was actually really cool because up until then, a lot of horror games had a set rules. Like zombies were the main monsters, and you could only do this, and they were very linear. But then Silent Hill comes along, busts out these obscene abominations that the world has never seen, and shows that, no, sometimes giving you a more or less open world is a good thing. Finally, this little guy down here in the corner, do I really need to tell you, the fine folks of the internet, who that is? Slender Man. Slender the 8 Pages and the following, kind of enhancement, Slender the Arrival, really gave rise to the indie gaming scene, especially within the horror genre. So, like I said earlier, these are 5 fantastic, industrious, and innovative horror video game Rice Krispy Treats. I'm Dapper Jeff, happy Halloween to all, and I hope you guys stay well fed.